From the Bramble Jam Podcast Network studios, it's the Diss List with Bran and Dan. It's the Diss List with Bran and Dan. It's the Diss List.
Woo!
With Bran and Dan. It's the Diss List with Bran and Dan. It's the Diss List with Bran and Dan.
Hi, everybody! Hey!
Woo!
Casey and the Moneymakers,
They're bringing
everybody.
it strong today. Baseline was hitting.
Really good, really good. It's great to be back for another episode of the Diss
Yeah, it
List,
is.
a weekly show about lists and dissing them.
You got it, man. Anything else you want to give the people, or you think they got it from
I
there?
think they got it from there.
Right. You want to try, though? Maybe?
Yes, today we're talking wrestlers, top 10 wrestlers, which is, I think it's going to get spicy in here today. I think the
I
arguments...
got the whole team from Foxcatcher. I think
Yeah.
they're one. Oh, is this real? Is this real or is this professional wrestling?
There's not much of a team anymore, Dan.
Yeah.
I
the
put
Fox
Durst at the beginning of
Yeah. Of course, you get it.
So this is really good. Please welcome PD to the show today. PD, one of the hosts of another Bramble Jam show, Making the Merge.
Fantastic show. You
Talking
should check it out.
Survivor. Even in the off season, we're talking Cook Island right now. Which
Cook
is,
Island.
Yeah, also known as the Race Wars. Dan,
Yep.
season 13, they split up the teams by race.
Did they see that Fast and the Furious movies where they had the race
That's what
wars?
I brought up.
And they were like, what if we really did that, but not racing
Yes.
cars?
I think that's what they, yes, and then they did. PD, you decided you wanted
and
to
you
talk.
guys are covering it, all white guys. What a time. I've got to listen.
We have
Man.
a Hispanic guy coming on next week who is on the show. That's all I'm going to
That's
say.
right.
Listen. Well, okay, good. I thought you were going to do a bit where you're like, I have black friends.
Yeah. And Chase is confusing. So let's do
Yeah.
top 10 wrestlers.
Is
PD,
You just tan?
why
I thought it was just tan.
why top 10 wrestlers?
Because wrestling, ever since I was 12, I've been watching it religiously.
And that was
So
2018, right?
that would be 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
Actually. So
Okay.
since 2012, for about the past 13 years,
Yeah.
I've been watching wrestling way too much. See, I like to watch things that Dan has no interest in, which is professional wrestling and Survivor.
That's
my
true.
two favorite things.
Those are your two favorite things to watch.
Yes. I do not really watch television or movies.
Because that means we could be on some sort of TV trivia together.
Yeah.
And we would crush it.
Combined.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys got a great.
Yeah.
Let's team up. I watched a little Everybody Loves Raymond too.
Everybody
Maybe
Loves
there will be an Everybody Loves Raymond
It's
question.
not about the kids. Everybody loves Raymond.
And you were so kind. My understanding is you were so kind with your list that you didn't bring any wrestlers from like New Japan Wrestling. Like the companies
Nude Japan?
nude, they're all nude. No.
That's a different company.
That's
I
a
watch
different-
New Japan.
New Japan.
New
yeah.
Japan. You are really into wrestling outside of what people think of like as like the WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it from back in the day. You're like, that's fine, but you've moved past it.
I have moved past
How
it.
do you
See,
move past it? What
I
do you mean?
decided I hated Vince McMahon before it was cool.
Yeah.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
before it was what everybody was doing. But my origin story with wrestling is I saw a cover of SmackDown versus Raw 2006. It
right.
had John Cena on the front.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad, can I have that? That looks cool. And he said, yeah, as long as you don't start watching this stuff, is what he
So
said.
he said yes, but you can't start watching
Yeah,
it?
he's like, you can have the wrestling game, just please don't get into wrestling.
What did he think was going to happen?
I mean, I can see where he's coming from. Wrestling is full of just terrible people.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. So many. I'm
and-
sure some are going to be on this list,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, a lot of people on my list did terrible things.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
I mean, the 90s, it was a different time, and that's where a
It
lot
was
of
a
the
different
people
time.
on my list come from.
But
is the
clearly-
early
90s,
2000s, they were doing reality shows where they split the races up in a reality competition.
Mid 2000s. Thank you very much.
And it's a good thing nobody covers that in 2025.
That's right. So someone has to. Now you have decided to narrow down this list to 10. And this is not just, you're not doing any of the New Japan people, not doing anybody
Yeah,
like.
I'm going with a more casual list.
Sure.
I decided to go back to my roots a little bit, which was WWE. I took the guys from the game. I Googled them.
Yes.
I was Googling Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, some of the people you
Okay.
see on my list. And so I didn't know
All right.
that like
I saw all those guys.
Yeah,
I
the
know
new
those
era. I
guys.
wasn't familiar with modern day WWE at the time. I just went to YouTube and watched as much of the Attitude Era that I could find,
Okay.
and then branched
Attitude
out
Era.
from there.
Yeah.
So that's how you got into wrestling.
Yes.
Was you played the game and then you were like, "What is this?" And then you Googled it.
Yeah.
And
I
you
was
just watched
curious
the
about them.
highlights of the best matches.
I was finding full shows. Like I found I quickly was able to find like every show from 1997 and 90 and
So
just everything.
what's the qualification for you, clearly an expert, for the best pro wrestler of all time? What does that mean to you?
But for me, the most important.
Belts?
No, the accolades and stuff like it's about the performance to me. Like the actual wrestling is the most important part of wrestling for me as a wrestling fan.
The show that they put on when they're performing with another wrestler in the ring. That match itself. How many of those matches has that person just crushed it in?
Yeah, the athleticism, the stories they're able to tell in the ring. It also matters to me that they're charismatic, that they connect with the crowd. But yeah, there'll be guys on my list who maybe weren't the best promo guys.
Okay. So go ahead.
That to me, you can get on my list by being an amazing wrestler, like one of the greatest actual bell-to-bell wrestlers of all time, and be okay on the mic. But you can't be the best on the mic and be a mid wrestler. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna literally probably hate the list because when I watched pro wrestling in high school and middle school, I was just the reverse. Like bell to bell, I just want to see who wins. Like the rest of it, the theater of it was like, there's a predetermined outcome. And so for me, it's like, if you look cool doing it or you didn't matter. Can you make me hate you with a microphone in your hand? That is what mattered to me. So like, I only watch WCW in the Monday Night Wars, Monday Nitro and Raw. I never watched Raw. I didn't like Vince McMahon all the way back in the 90s. I didn't watch, and so when WCW closed shop, I was getting out of it. And so I watched a little bit of WWF and WWE. So I'm fascinated to know how many of these names I'm going to know.
Yeah, and it's funny because I did go back and I watched ECW and a little WCW, but as a kid, I decided I hate Eric Bischoff and I don't want to watch his company.
He's terrible. He and Vince McMahon are both pretty terrible people. They're both pretty terrible. Yeah. But Mean Gene Okerlund? I mean, come on.
One of those guys has done a ton of illegal stuff, though. So definitely worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eric Bischoff is just annoying.
You look at him and want to punch him.
Yeah. That's different.
Very different.
Just want to get ahead of that. Let's get to number 10.
All right.
PD,
Same bad.
top 10 wrestlers. Number 10, who do you got?
Let's start with somebody who never stepped foot in WCW.
Let's do it.
It's from Cameron, North Carolina, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
I have
right.
heard this name before.
And a great thing to start with is just look at him. Look at that picture right there. Look at what he's wearing. That is pantyhose that he cut a bunch of holes into.
It looks like Poison did a Broadway musical and he's the lead.
Yeah. He's always been very does a lot of stuff with his arms.
Yes,
you know?
like this for some reason. He had every 12-year-old doing this. That hand, I mean, it's not great for the audio listeners right now.
Yeah.
But,
You can YouTube it.
yeah, but pull up the show on YouTube. It's a good plug. But Jeff Hardy, I feel like inside the ring, he was one of the most unique wrestlers as far as like he invented a lot of moves. And the car crash element of Jeff Hardy, the car crash element.
What's that?
He would do anything.
Yes.
Anything.
Like he would jump off of ridiculous heights onto tables and ladders and things that it's the reason why he still wrestles today. And you can see he has a lot of back pain. It's because of the stuff
And
that
a lot
he
of
did.
drug addiction.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
He looks like he doesn't have any of that going on. Come on, guys.
That is the
Is that a fanny
downfall.
pack down
Downfall.
there?
That's why I could see a lot of people saying Jeff Hardy's not on my list because
Of the car crash enigma.
the car crash enigma. So
I think that's a fair argument. Like, is Jeff Hardy a good wrestler? I don't know. But can he flip off of the ladder that I don't think you can buy anywhere? I don't know how they got a ladder that tall and flip onto somebody who's laying on another ladder and break the ladder in half.
But I guess
he can.
in my head, I'm just thinking of I can think of 15 plus iconic wrestlers that are all I don't know how they did in the ring. I just don't know, but I know their names still to this day and I didn't even watch them. I've never heard of this
You've
guy.
never heard of the Hardy Boys?
I did know the Hardy Boys.
Okay.
That's where I've heard
Jeff
his
is
name.
one of the two, but you might also be thinking
I
of,
have seen this guy wrestle.
Yeah.
then.
you might be thinking about the books where they solve
The Hardy
mysteries.
Boy. Yeah, that's also an important. Hardy
I don't
Boys.
want to spend too long on number 10, but I want to say Jeff Hardy revolutionized tag team wrestling in
That's
the
true.
90s when they had the first ever tables, ladders, and chairs match.
TLC
Yeah,
match.
TLC. I know about that.
And that was a giant deal, and it made tag team wrestling very
Was the
Ed-
Harlem
Edge
Heat in
and
it?
Christian, right?
Yes, and the Dudley Boys.
And the Dudley Boys. That's right. Now, the interesting, like the Hardy Boys, I always think of them as kind of the duo that brought extreme wrestling to WWE. Like Vince, like ECW's going on, Dan, and it's just like all car crashes all the time.
I remember ECW because Raven went there and like would do some stuff with barbed wire.
Scotty
And
That's
Polo.
just be like,
That's
yeah.
right. And like WWE eventually kind of just had to give to
Yes.
it and kind of bring some of this in. And I kind of think of Jeff and Matt as the folks who helped do that. Is that fair, you think?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the reason why you don't put them together like as a tag team on this kind of a list, or you don't put Matt on here, is because he didn't, like, Jeff reached the number one, like as high as you can get in popularity in the late 2000s. He was the most over
Wow.
guy in wrestling on the planet when he won the title in 2008. So for me, that's another thing that gets him on the list.
You love Jeff Hardy.
I do.
Big Jeff Hardy boy.
Jeff Hardy, also a musician. Not a good one, but he's a
He
musician.
is one.
Did,
but-
did a show at the Radio Room a couple years ago.
He wrote one
Thought
great
about
chorus.
going,
Of course you did.
but then I realized that would involve having to listen to the music.
Yeah.
And I didn't really
That's
want
part
any
of a
part of
concert.
that. That's all just a whole part of it. I want to see him flip and fall on stuff, but I don't think he was doing that at the concerts.
How was he
Anyway.
on the mic?
He wasn't great. He was himself, I
Right.
guess. That's what made him different also, is he's not jacked to the gills, and he's kind of a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's kind of a weirdo.
So
okay.
it is tough because like Matt is better on the mic. Jeff is crazier in the ring. And so
It's a good combo.
it just
Better on the mic,
depends
crazy in the
on,
ring.
depends on your preference, I think.
All right.
all
Let's
right.
at 9.
Number 9, what do you got?
All right. Number 9 is Rey Mysterio, who did wrestle in WCW.
Yeah, well, I've
You
seen a
should
lot of
be.
Rey Mysterio.
That's probably where he did some of his best work. In
Did he do anything on the
WCW.
mic when he was in WCW? Absolutely not. I remember when
No.
I remember when the mask came off, and the first time I heard him speak, everybody was kind of like the balloon deflated.
Yeah, but
Don't take the mask off.
Don't take the
It's
mask
the whole
off.
thing.
That's right.
he was one of the only guys who could convey so much emotion through the mask
Yeah.
while he was wrestling.
True.
And I thought that was one thing that made him special. Also, he really brought the lucha libre style to the United States and popularized it, which is a huge deal. And then I think my favorite Rey match would be in ECW, actually.
Really.
And it was him
Did he go
against,
there after WCW?
It was in 95 and 96.
So that was
he
before I watched him.
in
Yeah.
ECW. And my favorite match from Rey Mysterio is a 2 out of 3 falls Mexican death match against Juventud Guerrera.
Juventud. That's right.
Yes.
Is that son or brother of Eddie? Weren't they related?
Brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or somewhere in the family.
Yeah,
Somewhere
I
in
don't
the
know.
family.
Yeah.
But it's really fascinating to see all of these Philadelphians in a bingo hall get to experience lucha libre for the first time, and they're seeing the greatest luchador do it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
I love Rey Mysterio. I remember watching Rey Mysterio as a kid and just being like, why is this guy not the champion? Like he's just
Of everything. Yeah.
so fun to watch in the ring. And there's something about it where like he'll jump off the ropes and land on the shoulders, and somehow that will lead to both of them flipping. And like when you
Yes.
think about it too hard, you're like, the physics don't physic there, but it looks so darn cool. Like there's Rey Mysterio might be the coolest wrestler. Like he's so cool to watch.
Yeah,
Rey-
what you just described would be a springboard Dragon Rana, I believe.
There you
Yeah,
go.
no, I was going to say that, but thanks, PD, for picking that up. If I was making my list of top 10 professional wrestlers, Rey Mysterio would be the only wrestler on it that didn't have an amazing like mic presence. He was one of my favorites. And what he did in the ring was unbelievable. And I remember the match, and I don't remember who he fought. I don't have what the memory you got going on with wrestling, but the match he fought that was a mask match where when he lost, he had to remove his mask. I watched that match live, and it was unbelievable to watch that dude have to remove his mask for the first time. Unbelievable wrestler. the stuff he did in the ring, you could watch videos of it, and it would be entertaining to anyone. He's very, very impressive.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I like this so
Yeah.
far. I like this
Yeah.
list. But it's a
I mean, I
very
don't know
high
about Jeff Hardy,
It's a
but
high flying list at the very least. So
I'm just
far.
happy I've
It is
heard
so
of both
far.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 8. What do we
These
got?
are all guys that just jump high and do the car crash thing.
You'll know the next one too. He's the opposite. Chris Jericho.
Oh.
I have number 8.
Wow. Okay.
And that's another one that Dan should be very
I'm
familiar
very
with.
familiar with.
Another guy who is in a band that has played the Radio Room.
That is better
I mean,
than
the
Jeff
radio,
Hardy's.
the radio room is getting so much play right now.
Fozzie's
in
better
Greenville.
than Jeff. Hardy.
Yeah, Fozzie's not great. Better than Jeff Hardy. But for Chris Jericho, I think the promos, just constantly being able to reinvent himself, and it seemed like every time he came back, he had a new twist on the character, or it felt like something completely different altogether. And also in the ring, one of the top tier performers. He was also the catalyst for AEW.
Yeah.
Well, he was one of them. I think he was the thing that legitimized AEW and let there be another, like a second huge wrestling promotion in the United States, something that hadn't happened since WCW.
There you go.
Turner's at it again.
Turner's at it again. I don't know any of that about Chris Jericho. So the Chris Jericho I remember was a heel, and then the last iteration of Chris Jericho I remember is Y2J when he did that whole thing. He was really good at being annoying and really good at being someone that you hated. And I know in future iterations he became a good guy, like he turned like good or whatever. I don't know what the opposite of heel is.
Babyface.
Babyface. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, he turned a lot in his career.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
seemed like, I don't know, every other year he was playing a different role.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and had a new spin on it. But his longevity in the
can't
ring
get
as
mad
well.
at that.
Like he wrestled in AAA in Mexico, ECW, WCW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I think All Japan as well, and then WWE, TNA. He never went to TNA, so that's
It was the only one.
yeah, he missed that one. But
Yeah.
it seems like every major promotion, Jericho has been there.
I like Chris Jericho. I don't love Chris Jericho. I think I have a bit like when I was watching wrestling a lot, it was the era of WWE where Chris Jericho would come out and he would do his little talk show in the middle of the ring.
Oh my God.
And I hated
Talk
it.
is Jericho.
Talk
I
is Jericho.
loved Talk is
I
Jericho.
hated Talk is Jericho because I just want to get
But that's
back
him at
to
his best.
I
That's
know.
peak Chris Jericho.
Talk is Jericho always ended with somebody's head going through the monitor.
It did.
And that
There was a thing that he did where he brought out a list of grievances. Do you know what I'm
the
talking about?
1001 holds of
And
Jericho.
he's
Also?
yeah, the holds not list of grievances, the holds. He's reading all. Didn't he read them all?
Yeah, there was. I think he mentioned armbar 5 times,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
did read them all.
He read 1,001 different holds of Jericho.
God bless him.
And they're like
Jericho,
going back to the announcers, like, he's still reading. It's fantastic.
He's great at bits. He did a lot
He
of bits.
loves the bits.
He loves a bit. Yeah, I just the thing I think about Chris Jericho doesn't involve the wrestling, and so I don't hold him as high.
It does involve the wrestling for me too, because he did something that was shocking in 2016. He left WWE, I think maybe 2017, and he shows up in New Japan. And it was
you love.
unheard of. Yes, for a WWE star of his stature to just say like, "Hey, you know what? I think this show in Japan is pretty cool. I'm gonna just jump ship and go wrestle
Because
some
at
of the
that
guys over there."
point, it was just
That is
the
a big
goal
deal.
to get to WWE from
Yeah.
New Japan, not the opposite.
They were at the
Yes.
2017. That's like peak WWE, right? Like from a
Ratings
watching
wise.
standpoint.
That's when I gave up on the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think, but for like as far as TV ratings, like
Yeah,
they were number
No,
one every
wait,
Monday.
You said
and every Thursday.
2017. It'd be the early 2000s to like I would say 1998 to like 2005. That's when they were pulling in like 5 to 10 million.
Yeah, they were crushing it. But like, I'm pretty sure they were still the number one. Like when we started Deck the Hallmark in 18, WWE was still the number one
At that
program on
point,
cable. But not peak. You're
probably
right.
about like 2 million viewers.
Yes, 2 to 3.
At what
That's exactly
point
right.
did they WWE pivot to go to PG?
That was in 2000. I want to say 9.
Yeah.
2008
PG?
or 9. Yes, they went
Like-
PG.
Oh.
For a long time.
Had a huge effect
For a long time.
on everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like after the Attitude Era, they kind of were meandering, and they decided,
Let's make it friendly for the
We're
kids.
going to make it friendly.
Chris Jericho shined in that era as well. Like
Yeah.
the restrictions, it didn't matter. He still was coming out with all the bits.
Yeah.
So he had bits. Come on.
But that's why John Cena is John Cena. Like
Yeah.
John
Yes.
Cena is so big with the kids. Like that's
But once again, that guy has a this mic presence. Like he can't, like, I don't know if he can wrestle in the ring. I've never watched a John Cena match start to finish.
Wow.
But I've seen him. You're right. It's tough. I've seen him on the mic. Like I've seen what he does, in those moments. So like that is very different than what you guys are talking about.
I remember when John Cena came in and he would do the little hip hop thing where he would do a little freestyle. It wasn't not freestyle, but that was how
He was a white rapper.
It wasn't great.
It was great if you're 12.
You're like, yeah. All right. Number 7. Who do we have?
Dun, 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 dun. Angle.
Oh, that was nice.
Angle. Brand probably is totally lost. I mean, Dan.
No, I know Kurt Angle.
Okay, you do know Kurt Angle.
Yeah, because he was a real wrestler, right?
He was an Olympic gold medalist wrestler
And
with
you
a
couldn't forget
broken freaking neck.
Broken freaking neck.
When he got the gold medal, his neck was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a real wrestler.
That's not why he's here.
Nah.
No, forget about that.
No, he's here because WWE signed him. He had maybe a year of training under his belt. And then he hung with the greatest wrestlers of all time in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. And not only hung with them, but was often considered the best technical wrestler.
I'm sure he was a real wrestler.
Yeah.
It's like a real guy doing it.
But it doesn't always translate. Some guys don't have the charisma. And that's what happens a lot. Is like the guys with the amateur backgrounds are just charisma vacuums. But
yeah, I guess when I see this, I knew exactly who that was. I just don't care if he's a good wrestler. Like personally, it's not my thing. And so I don't care that he's a good technical wrestler. He's uninteresting to me.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
You should love him. He's so good on the mic.
He's uninteresting.
Kurt Angle is uninteresting is the biggest I don't know ball.
Yeah, you don't know ball.
I've seen him on the mic. I've seen him wrestle. I don't care.
Oh,
but he doesn't do anything for me.
He
doesn't do anything.
One of the
for me.
greatest comedic performers as well, as in the promos and stuff, like with Stone Cold.
I think, Dan, maybe you saw one and that was Kurt Angle is real good on the mic.
In the early
I'm
2000s,
to hear you say
when Stone Cold and The Rock were doing their thing, I saw Kurt Angle. I didn't watch Raw every week, but I saw Kurt Angle wrestle. I knew his backstory, and I saw him on the mic and never thought he was as entertaining as those other two guys. Wow. Never thought. And I'm not saying those other two guys are good wrestlers. I'm saying on the mic where I care, I had strong feelings about both of those guys. I didn't have anything. He didn't do anything for me.
That's really interesting because Kurt Angle is seen as one of like the greatest all-around performers in history. And that includes on the mic and what he did in comedy segments, like when he brought out the milk truck and he covered Stone Cold Steve Austin in milk.
Fantastic.
Him and the McMahon.
That's just good, clean fun.
Good, clean fun there. Got him.
You know
with
what?
the milk truck.
I always, as a kid, I was conflicted about Kurt Angle because, he's such like a hateable guy, but also you kind of love him. But also when he would come out, some would chant Angle, but many would chant "You suck."
Yeah, and
as a kid who couldn't say "You suck,"
weren't allowed.
I was conflicted because
what do I do here?
I already was kind of breaking the rules by watching wrestling. Like my dad liked wrestling, my mom didn't love it. Then we watched it. One of those things.
Torn household.
And the "You suck" is like. I was in a tough spot here because of course I want to join in, but also I love the Lord. So I was in a tough spot.
Wasn't he big American flag guy too?
Cecilia says he made me less patriotic.
He's Team USA wrestler, so USA was always kind of a part of that.
Yeah. Exactly.
One fun fact about Kurt Angle is the first time he was ever involved in professional wrestling was because of Paul Heyman in ECW. Paul Heyman brought him in just to have him like show off his gold medal, do a promo, and
the people of Philadelphia will love it.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, I want to say devout Christian, that's important to the story, had no idea what he was getting himself into going to an ECW show. And it just happened to be the show where Sandman decided to I think it was Raven. He decided to put Sandman on a cross and do a little crucifixion angle.
Crucifixion Angle. Yeah.
And
of course.
Kurt Angle was not happy about this at all. He's like, I want nothing to do with wrestling. Get me out of here. I'm never going to be involved in this business again.
Man.
And it was Vince McMahon who pulled him back in.
Did he do the segment in ECW?
Yeah. That was because he did his segment.
And then
they did the crucifixion angle.
I wonder if he saw it, if he would have still gone out there and got his $50 or whatever. Paul Heyman was playing him. Okay,
Because nothing in the WWE would bother his faith.
No.
Nothing.
Not at that time.
Not from Vince McMahon.
That's for sure. All right, let's do one more and then take a break. Number 6. I like your list so far. Some fun
Interesting.
names.
I mean, I've known everyone on your list so far,
There you
so I
go.
feel
I'm
great
glad.
about that.
I was expecting to fight a lot today. I didn't know if maybe it's just me and Chase who do that.
Oh, I got you.
But-
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said we're gonna do the next one and then
Number
take a break.
6.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
let's do that.
This is the most controversial thing on my list. Where I put this guy at number 6, I have Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think this is okay placement?
Yes, I think it's a great placement. I think
Okay.
he belongs on the list, and I think right there in the middle is a great spot for him.
I think most people, if you don't have him like 1, 2, or 3,
No,
they lose their minds.
my problem is, and this is where like I am just the old guy in the room. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin is an amazing personality with a very specific. I remember the stunner. The problem is I remember the diamond cutter. I remember all the stuff that he's derivative to me. But
Okay.
But wait, he's amazingly derivative. He is the best. He's a 10 of 10 derivation. So he is derivative. He's not original, but he is 10 of 10 derivation. He's as good as that era had, but he's derivative. So for me, 4, 5, 6, have at it. No higher.
That's interesting that you call him derivative. Who does he remind you of? Is it like Diamond Dallas Page?
I
Is
think
that-
big Diamond Dallas Page energy. The vest, the jeans, the accent, and the move. All Diamond Dallas Page energy, massive. But
Yeah.
any Southern guy that came through there, half a dozen that you could name, also had his energy. But the drinking beer, the whole thing, the candy
Yeah.
ass, like the whole that all like he made it his own. There's no doubt about
Well,
it.
it's that I think Stone Cold is seen as the number one guy from the Attitude Era because he got to play out everybody's dream on television, which is I want to drink a bunch of beer and then beat the crap out of my boss.
Like Scott Hall would do
Yeah.
it. Scott Hall did the beer thing.
He did.
I mean, like it's this is a character who's an amalgamation of wrestlers from the 90s, and he's effing crushing it.
But there was the moment where he became Stone Cold that it felt different than other people. Where it was Jake Roberts, Jake,
Yep,
another guy
Jake the
who's a big
Snake.
Christian, and to make fun of him, Stone Cold, he did the infamous Austin 316.
Yep.
Says, "I just kicked your ass," and
That's funny.
and then he sold billions of T-shirts. I don't know if
That's
it was billions, but
It
maybe.
probably was
Probably.
at least
Might have been.
millions.
Definitely.
Billion.
Yeah.
1 in 8 people
I
in the
think
world bought
it could
it.
be
No,
$billion.
it's at billions. It has to be at least
Billion.
2 out of 8.
Yeah,
It could be billions of dollars.
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely.
Millions of T-shirts I'll buy.
Him and The Rock were the biggest box office guys.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
But my list isn't who brought in the most money because they didn't make me money.
yeah.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
They cost you
Yeah,
even.
that's why.
They cost me money.
Cost me
I'm
money.
still dealing with the consequences. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin, and 6 feels low to me. I don't know where you're going. 6 feels low.
It's because he didn't have long of a run on top.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the longevity that I could see that.
the knee.
longevity's
Listen,
important.
the knee will get you.
I'd
The
say
knee will get you.
He
The
was
knee will
on
get you.
fire from 97 to like 01, and then that was it.
The flame was short but bright.
Yep.
Flame
Are
was
we
short,
doing
was
his
bright.
funeral? Like what's
It's-
happening?
Well, the next
Someone
wrestler.
throw me a beer. Someone throw me a beer. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we will get to the top 5 wrestlers according to PD on the other side of the break here on the Diss List. With Brandon Dan. Yeah.
Sit down.
So funky.
They're
It
spicy
is.
today.
They are.
You guys, what you don't hear is during the break, they keep playing.
Dude, those
obviously.
pants KC's wearing, bright.
I'm happy you got rid of the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache was
Mustache
too
was
much.
a lot.
It was too much. Let's trim
I didn't have to talk to him though.
No.
He figured it out on his own.
Yeah.
All right, let's do number 5. Really quick, quick reminder of 10 through 6 for those of you that are maybe listening and they haven't been watching along. 10 Jeff Hardy, 9 Rey Mysterio, 8 is sorry, I don't have the actual list. I
H.
have
Chris Jericho,
Yes.
7
Thank
Kurt
you.
Angle, 6 Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right. Okay, spicy.
Next up.
right, here we
it's
go.
funny
Top
that
5.
Dan said we were doing a funeral for Stone Cold because now we're going to talk about someone who's dead.
Oh man.
At number 5,
His flame burned bright. What was it?
It was bright. It was short but bright.
Got it.
it was short
Great.
but bright. I believe this guy is the perfect wrestler, and if he had lived longer, he'd be number 1.
Wow.
Eddie Guerrero.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie was huge in WCW.
Dude, long hair, way skinnier Eddie. That's the
yeah,
Eddie.
see,
This
that,
is,
that physique is what killed him.
Yeah, certainly looks like it would.
That is a
That's a
those,
Scott
those,
Steiner situation.
Those muscles
That's-
are not all natural.
Yeah, so imagine, me as a 12-year-old. I looked this guy up. I had the last video game before he died,
Yeah.
and I'm watching his matches. I'm in love with him. And then I see his tribute show.
Oh.
And then I'm just, crying over this guy I found out existed 2 weeks ago. But Eddie, the reason he's number 1, I mean, not number 1, would be number 1, is because he's like Bugs Bunny. He really is Bugs Bunny if he was a pro wrestler. There would always, people do ref bumps and like shenanigan spots, but nobody did it better than Eddie. The ref would go down, he would get this grin on his face, and then you knew he was just about to do something wild. He was going to fool the referee, he was going to win by disqualification or do something crazy, and it was always going to be funny, and it was always different every time. He didn't reuse spots.
Yeah, my recollection of Eddie Guerrero is so different than yours because of when I stopped watching, but he was like Rey Mysterio, but not as good. Like my watching Eddie Guerrero was Rey Mysterio usually like near the end of the evening, Eddie Guerrero undercard for sure. But super duper talented. But like Rey Mysterio was the guy doing what Eddie Guerrero was doing, but better. So like I have fond memories of Eddie Guerrero, but it sounds like he really took off when I stopped watching. And so that's unfortunate because I know who that is, and he's a fine wrestler, but I don't have those same memories or feelings that you have. But it sounds like he really came into his own.
Yeah, his charisma was off the charts.
I mean, he would come in with a new car every episode. That
Every
would be,
episode.
the hydraulics. It would be a whole thing with Eddie Guerrero. I love Eddie Guerrero. Viva La Raza.
Lie, cheat, and steal.
You lie, you cheat, you steal. And that's what you do. He's great. Good on the mic, good in the ring. And gone too soon.
Gone too soon.
Yep.
Number 5?
Right, but quick.
I don't know. About
Number five is up there.
Maybe you didn't see his work as Black Tiger in the New Japan Best of the Super Juniors 94 tournament.
Yeah, Best of Super Juniors 94, Brand.
I miss Super
Best
Junior.
of Super Juniors 94, Brand.
I miss Super Juniors.
You might have
94.
missed his tournament final against Liger. Fantastic.
Liger?
5 stars from Meltzer.
5 stars from Meltzer.
Yep. Not going to
Dude,
explain.
you're speaking a foreign language. Everything you said in the last 30 seconds is not true.
Chase is going to love this podcast.
I'm really grappling with Eddie Guerrero.
But how was this car crash syndrome? Was that good?
He did work one of the bloodiest matches I've ever seen in my
that's
life
true.
against JBL, where I was so concerned. I was like, how does he have any blood left
Yeah.
after that one?
That was before they turned PG.
Yeah. And my next person on the list also bled a lot.
Oh my God.
He bled a whole lot. It's the Funker.
Oh,
I've got
Oh, okay.
the oldest person on my list.
Yeah,
That's right.
by a
He's also
mile.
passed away. I have Terry Funk. Terry
Yeah.
Funk is another guy
The
that
Funkster.
I would describe as like a perfect pro wrestler. For me, I mean, I think the era he comes from, his style was a little bit more limited, and the opponents he worked with weren't as good as the ones that the people today
just a lot
have.
of hugging and grappling.
But he was just fantastic at getting you to care about whatever it is that he was going to say. And this is my favorite Terry Funk match. It was in Japan. It was a barbed wire exploding death match. Have you ever heard of one of these?
That sounds like it should.
The barbed wire explodes, not the people.
There's
Okay,
a lot
I got it.
there's
But what about
pyro.
death?
Well, I mean, he died peacefully, I think, or maybe not. He was a wrestler, but he died of
burned
old
bright
age.
and for a long time.
Yeah, but so
long burning star and flame.
there are no ropes in this match. You just it's
You
the
replace it with the barbed
yes,
wire.
it's just
Okay.
barbed wire. And every time you run into the barbed wire, it's like lined with pyro. So they're getting cut up and burned in Japan.
Dear God.
And
And,
then-
this is legal?
I don't know, but they did it.
I got questions for
You know-
Meltzer. I can tell you that right now.
I don't think Meltzer gave this one 5 stars.
No, Meltzer wouldn't there.
No, he wouldn't.
No. But the gimmick, the ultimate gimmick of the match is there's a 30-second timer. Once that timer goes off, the ring is going to explode. And
The whole ring?
Well, I mean, it was really just a bunch of explosions like outside the ring, but
Okay.
it made, if you're in the arena, just the pyro and the smoke together, it made it look like a bomb just went off and
Oh
those
my
guys aren't
gosh.
okay. Yeah, so as the time goes down, Onita, he's got Funk down.
This is a 30-second match?
30 minutes.
30-minute match.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So they've
Man.
wrestled in barbed wire for 30 minutes.
Lot of
They're
that.
both bleeding like crazy. Onita,
The goal obviously is to pin the guy before the 30
And then
minutes
get
so
out
that
of
it
there.
doesn't explode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so Onita, he has him down, but the timer's going out, and Onita's like, he's like, I gotta get out of here. So with 20 seconds left, Onita's out of the ring. But then he looks back at Terry.
Oh, is he gonna go back for Terry?
He looks back at him, and he dives in the ring.
Yeah.
He's slapping Terry. He's like, get up, get out of here. You gotta do it. And Terry's unconscious. He can't move.
No.
So Onita just dives on top of him to try to shield him from the blast. It was incredible. It was stuff like that made me fall in love with
sounds-
Terry.
I love
That sounds amazing. That's like, I have no desire. Just wrestling's not my thing. What you just described, the picture that you painted, sir, that sounds
That's
like a lot
beautiful.
of fun.
It's on
yeah.
YouTube.
I like the Funkster. I watched a lot of Terry Funk ECW matches. He's nuts. He's wild. But it's great because he's this like old school guy
Yeah.
that like
Does like a bare knuckle brawler.
does
you know?
come from the world of just you grapple and you do the thing, and then at some point he was like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go nuts.
I mean, you might expect him to look like he has this really like masculine voice, but he kind of talked like
He did.
this.
Yeah, he did.
He'd
Yeah.
be like, I'll tell you something about Ric Flair.
That's
he
pretty
reminds
good,
me
Terry
of.
Funk.
That's a pretty good. Yeah. it
Thank
is.
you.
Speaking of Ric Flair's not on the list.
Oh well.
I can't
So
imagine.
far-
Knowing what I know about you, the
We'll see.
idea of Ric Flair being on this list is like, I don't even know if it was top 100.
I'd be shocked if
him on there.
PD is.
he was on my list, and I took him off for character reasons.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for like personal?
He's
He's the worst human being.
Terrible.
He
person.
had
He's a terrible
he had
human being.
sex one too many times for PD.
Yeah, that was the problem I had.
Let's get to number 3.
Number 3 is I think the youngest guy on my list, and that is Daniel Bryan, otherwise known as Bryan Danielson.
Never heard of
If
him.
you will.
This is the first guy. I just want to mark down. First guy I've not heard of.
There you go.
Okay, so
Top 7?
Our producer
Heard
Aaron
of all
knows
of them.
Daniel Bryan.
She does.
So, there you go. Aaron,
I
how
was
do you
first
know
one.
Daniel Bryan?
I dated a guy who really liked wrestling.
Oh, there it is.
So does
We did
this
it.
mean anything to you? If
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Come on.
It's kind of like a you had to be there kind of a thing to explain how much joy putting both of your arms up, with your index finger pointed
With the whole
the
crowd,
whole crowd.
chanting. Yes.
It sounds so stupid.
It does.
It
I
sounds
think-
colossally.
I think what makes Daniel Bryan
stupid.
great is when he started he was hokey.
Yes.
And then at some point something clicked and changed and he
Top 3 of all
became
time?
he
Yeah,
became Go ahead, Aaron. Yes.
Was he dating one of the Bellas?
yes, he's married to
Yeah,
Brie
married to her.
Bella.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Thank you, Aaron.
Okay, let me try to explain this to Dan.
Top 3 all time.
Try to explain how a guy from the PG era could be in the top 3 of all time. I'll start with he forced Vince McMahon to change his plans, which is kind of unthinkable. Like Vince is very set in his ways. He'll do what he wants and the crowd's going to like it. And if they don't, he doesn't care. But Daniel Bryan, he kept like climbing to the top of the ladder, but they would do something to screw him over. And so then they would like,
the
just
ladder
put him
of
in,
the company, not a physical ladder. Although he did do that.
Yeah, he climbed a few physical ladders as well. But he would get to the top and then kind of be pushed away, or they would do something and just totally bury him. Eventually, the fans were sick of it. There's the Royal Rumble where the fans basically had all gone into there thinking like, if Daniel Bryan doesn't win, we don't care. He gets eliminated, and I don't think it was shown on the jumbotron when he got thrown out. And then once everybody noticed he was no longer in the ring, just a chorus of boos that did not stop until the show was over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
People love some Daniel Bryan.
it was Batista who won the Rumble. And people were just furious about it.
He's the worst.
And he was wearing blue trunks every time. People called him Blue Tista. Nobody wanted Blue Tista in the main event of WrestleMania against Randy Orton. But the people were clamoring for Daniel Bryan so much that Vince had to relent, and he had to put Daniel Bryan in the position of, well, first he faced Triple H, beat him in the opener of WrestleMania to earn the opportunity to go to the main event and win in a triple threat match against Batista and Randy Orton. So they just added him to the match that everyone hated to make everybody love it.
I mean, I get it. How long has this guy been wrestling?
Since 2004.
Okay, so 20 years.
But
Like,
then he left the
Is he
company.
still doing it?
He left WWE.
Yes, he did. He went to AEW. He started in Ring of Honor, made a huge name for himself. He was kind of like the indie darling that nobody ever thought that WWE would bring in the first place. And then,
So is this just more of like a story pick? Like,
but it was also because he's like bell to bell and character wise, just fantastic.
man, I can't, like, I know that I don't know everything about wrestling. I certainly, like, you're saying stuff that I'm like, but top 3 all time, man. I've never heard
I
this
stand
guy.
by it 100%.
Yeah, it's Daniel Bryan's one of the newer guys. I stopped watching wrestling. I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, like on a regular basis. But he's one of the guys that I would still like. I heard so much about Daniel Bryan that I sought out his matches. I was like, I need to watch Daniel Bryan, and so his name was one of those names that every once in a while happens where it kind of goes outside of just the wrestling space and people hear it outside of it.
And that never happens anymore, or very rarely happened, especially in that time period. And here's what I'll say, that this is the reason he's on there. To me, he's like the PG era, or like for that time period, he was the Stone Cold in terms of popularity. He was getting Stone Cold level pops in a time where people just weren't doing that.
Yeah.
Man,
All right.
I just looked up a bunch of pictures. I don't recognize them. I just don't recognize them at all. Not even a little bit. That's wild.
Well, then that's okay.
There you have it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
fine. It's fine.
Daniel Bryan, number 3.
I think you're making this guy up.
It's bold. It's a bold number 3. I don't hate it, though. We're here to make bold choices.
That's
PD.
right. That's what I do. But my 1 and 2 aren't very bold.
Okay.
Number 2, The Undertaker.
Oh,
Yeah,
heck
okay. Now we're back at it. Yeah.
This is the one that me and Chase have been arguing about for so long. Every time I'm like, Undertaker, he's in my top 3. Sometimes I have him 1, 2, it just depends. Today he's number 2. And Chase can't fathom this. He's like, Undertaker sucked. And I'm like, what world were you in, Chase?
Chase
What
is
are you
Chase
talking
is just
about?
downright wrong about Undertaker. He's wrong about a lot, and he's doubly wrong about Undertaker. Undertaker's my favorite wrestler of all
One
time.
of the best entertainers on television.
Yeah, he was the closest thing to a superhero. And it's the most ridiculous gimmick in the
It's
world.
so
Such a crazy
dumb.
bit. Such
It's-
a crazy bit.
It's so dumb. And I think what makes Undertaker so good is like, one, like he's a giant, but also is really good in the ring and has some crazy matches and crazy moments, but also like he's not really good on the mic, but he doesn't have to be. He just says rest in peace and that's it.
Well, that's
I think that's Chase's big knock. His
his
man, he can't.
persona is amazing. Just because it, like, for me, on the mic, I think includes persona outside of the ring. Like bringing in the casket and him popping. Are you kidding me?
There's
Like, that's
nothing better.
fantastic.
There's nothing better than when you think Taker's down and he.
Yes.
Oh,
he
yeah.
says,
That's-
there's nothing.
Yes.
That's what the part of it for me that puts him over there, even though he's probably never cut a good promo in his life, but it doesn't matter. Like we've been talking about, because he'll do things like you think he's out and he pops up, and it's the dramatic moments that he layers throughout a match. He built up, I think, the most dramatic false finishes in the history of wrestling with the next guy who's on my list.
Like, I'm fascinated as to what number.
But
that is.
I will just like also the best intro in all of wrestling, right?
Oh,
Like
phenomenal.
the music, lights go down, the 3-minute walk down to the ring,
Oh, I was
which
going
is
to say 3 hour. But
which is
Yeah.
insane, but
It's absurd.
gripping at the same time, getting in the middle of the ring, taking off the hat, eyes roll backwards. Listen, does the era of time where he came down on a motorcycle, does it hurt him?
I don't even. I pretend it didn't happen.
It's exactly right. So maybe it should hurt him. Maybe we should count it against him because really dumb, really bad, hated it. This is Undertaker.
I mean, Undertaker's synonymous with professional wrestling. He isn't like, he's entertaining. Everyone knows his bit. You don't have to watch wrestling. It is a transcendent bit. That's how good the persona is. I don't care if he doesn't talk. Like, for me, that's what a great wrestler is change the sport through transcendence level persona.
Yeah.
I don't care about his moves in the ring. He didn't have to be going to the mic. His persona was that impressive.
Yeah. To Chase's point, by the way, Chase, our other host of Making the Merge, in case people were like, why do they keep talking about Chase? To Chase's point, Taker, Taker is so good in spite of so many things. Like his finishing moves,
I don't care.
last drive, chokeslam, old school.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Tombstone's great.
I was about to say Tombstone and
Tombstone
chokeslam.
pile driver?
Tombstone's great.
Yeah.
But like, old school's really dumb.
It's really dumb, but it
there's
works for
something
me.
about it that works. Like there's like everything about Taker. I am always like, it's so dumb, but it works. Like it just is a perfect storm.
Man, who's going to be better than Undertaker?
There is somebody, but
I got a few names.
one more thing about Undertaker before we move on is the pops. When the lights would go out and the gong would ring and you knew what was coming. Those, I think, are the biggest pops ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with that.
So,
And I think, but we're all happy he finally lost at WrestleMania.
yeah,
you clearly are.
It took him getting concussed by Brock to make it happen.
We don't need to get into it.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the streak just now.
Why have a streak? This is like, you want to talk about all of Vince's downfalls, and there's many of them. His love of Brock Lesnar is up there at the top of the
Brock
list.
Lesnar
Yeah,
sucks.
it's having this streak go for 20-something years and then be like, let's give it to the other guy who's almost 40.
Yeah.
And not...
Who no one likes. No one likes Brock Lesnar. All right, number one.
Number
Here
one,
we go.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. It's Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
The Heartbreak Kid.
Thank you for doing the Sherry Martel for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, just charisma off the charts. I think he is the most charismatic wrestler of all time. For me.
I mean, he's up there.
Yeah, I mean, saying he's number one, might be pretty controversial, but I think he had two separate Hall of Fame worthy careers. You could take what he did from like 2005 to 2011 and call that its own career.
Correct.
And it would be better than what so many guys have done. And then what he did from 97 to maybe whenever he lost his smile. I don't know when that was. But then he came back again after that. And then he did DX and he had all these memorable feuds with like.
DX was in the middle of my watching all of it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
DX, another thing that's awesome when you're 12, but doesn't hit the same.
That's right.
way.
Doesn't hit the same now.
Yeah.
That's right.
They did it. They did the thing.
Dude, I went to a Christian school in the area, and so many kids got in trouble for doing the DX.
I got in trouble for it at church like 20 years later. I'm not 20 years, but like 10 years later when I was 12.
PD,
you
I was
know,
about to say, were you an adult?
No. I didn't know.
He's going on stage at church.
You probably should have gotten in trouble 20 years
Wait
later.
till the Roy's report hears about this. I love Shawn Michaels, and you're right. The match with Taker at, was it WrestleMania or SummerSlam?
WrestleMania 25.
Gosh,
There was two of them.
Those matches with Taker are as good as it gets.
When I was talking about dramatic false finishes and stuff, it was the first time they were just wrestling each other. And then the next year it was career versus streak.
Yeah.
And
Was it a anything goes match?
yeah, I think it, or maybe they just had a spot where the referee was knocked out.
Okay.
I remember in the first one, Undertaker dove out of the ring and then landed on a cameraman who HBK had pulled in the way. And it was a brutal landing to do a somersault as a guy who's like 6'5" and land on top of a camera.
Yeah.
It didn't look fun, but those were the most dramatic matches and my favorite matches to ever happen in America is Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
Here's what I can tell you is, as someone that was loyal WCW, when we ever veered over to WWF, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker were it. They were the absolute top of the top. So it's hard for me to argue with this. I think my personal list would be different, but I mean, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are both entertainers, charisma, captured a moment, captured an arena, captured a television viewing audience as well as anyone. And that's all I really care about. So those two, I got no issue there.
And it's another one of those his finishing move is just a big old kick, but
That's
it's
it.
Sweet
real
chin music,
good.
But with the wind up,
Oh yeah,
the way he gets into it.
Man.
Let's talk about his match with Flair a little bit. The I'm sorry, I love you, which
Oh, man.
I will credit that as kind of it had a negative effect on wrestling a little bit, the pantomiming, but it worked so well when they did it because it hadn't really been done like that before. But then a lot of people were trying to copy it, I feel like later on. But that match was incredible. And then what he did in the late 2000s with people like Chris Jericho and Jeff Hardy and Undertaker and all the newer guys as well. I feel like HBK he never had a bad match, in my opinion. And that's what makes him number one.
He's great.
Never had a bad
He's
match.
great. He's
There you
great.
have it. All right.
All right, we got a lot to think about, Dan.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to mess around with the list a little bit, and we're going to try to come up with an even better list, if it's possible.
I love that.
Here on the other side of the break, here on the Diss List. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. Yeah. Wow. Top 10 wrestlers. My goodness. You've come up with quite the list here, PD. I'll remind the people at home of the top 10 list. You got 10, Jeff Hardy. Number 9, Rey Mysterio. Number 8, Chris Jericho. Number 7, Kurt Angle. Number 6, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 5, Eddie Guerrero. Number 4, Terry Funk. Number 3, Daniel Bryan. Number 2, Undertaker. And number 1, the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
I've given this as much thought as I can with the allotted time that we have.
I can't wait to hear
And so I'm going to
yours.
make some changes. There's one name in particular that I think just has to be on this list. It's one of the guys that got me into wrestling. Like, just as a kid, we would watch wrestling occasionally, and this wrestler became a household favorite in my house. And then I really got into wrestling a little bit later, and I went back and watched even more of this guy. And I just think he has to be on the list. So I have to include Bret Hart on this list.
The Hitman.
Yes.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
We're talking about cool guys with great character.
Got no exception to Bret.
Brett's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great wrestler. Great charisma. One of the all-time great, like, is it real, is it not, with the Montreal hit job, like, or screw job. Just a crazy moment in wrestling. Fantastic. A lot of fun. And then I also would like to include, I'm looking at the list and I'm looking at Shawn Michaels, and it's hard for me not to think about Shawn Michaels without also thinking about Triple H. I like Triple H. You're not a Triple H guy.
I like Triple H. I don't love Triple H.
Okay.
That's what I'll say
I
about
love
him.
Triple H. I love Triple H. I think really great wrestler, great performer. And who hasn't, in a time of wrestling with his friends on the trampoline, not taken a drink of water and spit it up in the air to make mist like Triple H?
Yes. Everybody did that.
That's exactly
I have to
right.
give you that one.
And so I've added those guys at the expense of a couple. One, I'm taking away Chris Jericho.
Okay, yeah, you can take out Chris. Chris is the most expendable one, I think.
Okay.
Even though I had the
Wow.
other guys 9 and 10, I had him ahead of a couple people. I think
And then
it's okay.
I'm doing something. I'm not proud of it now that I've done it, but I'm doing it, and I'm getting rid of Eddie Guerrero.
Oh,
So here's what I've done, okay? Here's what I've done. I have brought in Bret Hart to replace who was the first person I said?
You
You're
said
Chris.
Terry Funk.
Yes, Chris Jericho, okay?
Okay.
And then I have flipped Bret Hart with
Terry
the
Funk.
Funkster,
So
okay?
Funk down
so
at 8.
Hart is now at 4. And then I took out Eddie Guerrero. I brought in Triple H. Kind of similar in stature. I just, if I get to choose between the two, I'm gonna pick Triple H, and then I'm gonna move Daniel Bryan down, not because I don't think that he's a great wrestler, but when I think of iconic wrestlers, I think of Stone Cold first. So I'm gonna bring Stone Cold up to 3. And so here's what I have: Jeff Hardy at 10, Rey Mysterio at 9, Terry Funk at 8, Kurt Angle at 7, Daniel Bryan at 6, Triple H 5, Bret Hart at 4, Stone Cold now at 3, Undertaker at 2, Shawn Michaels at 1. PD, your thoughts on my list?
I had a visceral reaction to,
I know.
to one of the things,
I know.
which was swapping. I think I'm fine with these additions. I think even putting Terry Funk at number 8, I can understand that not everybody has the love of Terry Funk that I do. Not everybody watched him do barbed wire. And
I need to watch the barbed wire bomb match. Apparently, It did sound
That
sound
match,
amazing.
I will say this: that match description by you made me appreciate Terry Funk more than I already did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad. But the thing that I had such a bad time with looking at Brand's list right now is seeing Eddie Guerrero. First of all, off of there completely, because I would say I would have Eddie Guerrero above Ray, above Jeff. I don't know if I would have him above a guy like Terry, but having Triple H ahead of him, when Triple H was he wasn't the best in the ring, he wasn't the best on the mic either. That's the other thing. He was just kind of there for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Brand, you're still going to win going away. So
Well,
don't
we
worry,
don't know.
buddy.
Well, I don't know. We don't know.
I know based upon talking to this fine guy right here that my additions he's not going to like.
Oh
Wait,
wow.
I've got Dan's list right now. It's Earthquake, Disco
It's-
Inferno,
dude.
Scotty Flamingo.
Booker T, Harlem Heat. Come on, man. I freaking
Scott
love the
Steiner.
Harlem. Big Papa Pump. Yeah, man. He's definitely on here. Listen, I grew up in an era when I watched WCW, Sting, Diamond Dallas Page, NWO, Wolfpack, the Four Horsemen, that is kind of my era. But the two people that I added to this list, I think were transcendent of the sport. That is how I make this list, because I don't have the undying, ardent fanhood that PD has, where he watches the videos, he knows who Meltzer is, or New Japan, or the Junior Circuit, or whatever that was you're talking about. Like, I don't have that. The in-the-ring stuff never did it for me. The personalities and what it meant and how it became part of the cultural zeitgeist, that was important. So these two guys, I don't think they're good people, and you need to know that up front. I think Hulk Hogan has to be on this list. I know that I'm talking to somebody, who's 25 years old. I get it. Hulk, almost everyone you're listing here on this list literally doesn't do their thing without Hulk Hogan. He makes this what it is. And I didn't like him in Hulkamania. When he went heel, I was fascinated, but I couldn't wait for Sting to kick his ass. I hated him. But this guy on the mic, let me tell you something, brother. This guy in the ring doing this thing's his dumb finisher flying leg drop. Without Hulk Hogan, we're not doing the diss list right now.
You're right.
I know he's not one of the top 10 best wrestlers. I know that. I know that here, and I know it here. But I can tell you, if you're listing them by importance, for me, it's just impossible. I don't even like him as a guy. It's impossible to do this and not see him on the list.
WCW.
Yes.
The thing
No,
you love.
he didn't kill
He
it.
killed it.
Eric
Eric Bischoff. But
yeah,
I can't imagine him not being on this list.
I understand that. And here's the thing about Terry. That's what I call him.
Yeah.
We're on a first name
Terry.
basis.
Yeah, Terry, of course.
Terry
I saw the documentary.
was a fantastic wrestler. He just knew he didn't have to do all that
Correct.
stuff.
Yes.
If you've
Yes.
seen him in Japan, which I'm assuming you
I
guys
have not.
haven't,
No.
he wrestled Antonio Inoki, who is the founder of New Japan Pro Wrestling,
course,
a guy who did a shoot match with Muhammad Ali at one
Classic
point.
shoot match with
Yeah.
Cassius, yeah.
So Hulk knew when he goes over to the Tokyo Dome to wrestle Inoki, he's got to bring it.
Yes.
So you see him doing moves in Japan that you will never see him do
Yeah.
ever again, like
Yeah.
a cross arm breaker, like doing submission stuff. That is
Wow.
in America, he would just drop the leg.
He just phones
And
it. Yeah. I just don't care about that stuff.
Mhm.
Like that, to me, why are we all here? Why did this become the biggest phenomenon? You cannot tell that story without Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And I like, for me, it's like there's a lot of unfortunate people that in a lot of industries that you could say that same thing about in Mad Lib, what are we talking about and this person. But if we're doing this list, it's just impossible for me to separate that, because if you ask, still to this day, 50 years probably after he came on the scene, if you ask people to name you a professional wrestler, they're going to name you Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And so for me, he's got to be on this list. The other guy is going to get the same level of reaction from folks in the chat. It's The Rock. It's Dwayne Johnson. Listen, a lot of wrestlers tried to make movies. Only one of them could make $1 billion movies. Okay, John Cena's made some movies that have done okay.
Yeah, but who's sold a billion shirts?
But nobody is. I don't think anyone has.
The Rock actually probably also sold a billion shirts.
Nobody is convincing me that happened because of John Cena. I'm not a huge The Rock fan as an actor unless he's in the Fast movies. That's where I think he shines the most. What I'm telling you is that
Jumanji.
His charisma, maybe his best comedy. I don't know, Central Intelligence. I don't know.
His movies made. The movie shouldn't have been made.
His movies make a gajillion dollars. I don't care about In the Ring, where I know that he struggled. What I do know is that on Tuesday, after the Monday Night Wrestling Wars happened, everyone was talking about what The Rock said. Because on the mic, no one was better. And when YouTube became a thing, and I was old enough to really love that as a 25-year-old, watching The Rock on the mic was the best thing, period. I don't care what he looked like in the ring. I don't care that the, whatever it's called, I can remember what it is now, rock bottom, like dumb move.
People's elbow?
People's elbow, okay.
But
whatever.
his moves were dumb in a lovable way.
In a very lovable way. But hit the eyebrow, the holding the mic.
If you smell
I mean, no one did it like this guy did it. And as much as we talk about Stone Cold, he's in tandem with The Rock on this. Like,
Aaron, do you know The Rock? Aaron's heard about The Rock. So Daniel Bryan and The Rock.
Yeah. You
For
knew
Aaron's
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
You knew Hulk Hogan? Okay. So the two people I'm adding, it's purely because I don't think you can make this list without the people that are the most popular.
And box office.
Exactly. Whereas I think if you talk to big time wrestling fans, it would be like, well, you want to make a movie with just the movie that people saw the most? I think it's very different. I don't think the movies are an apples to apples comparison to this. I think this is an entertainment, very specifically individualistic entertainment industry.
Sports and entertainment.
So for me, those two folks, I saw the list and I went, where's Hulk Hogan? Where's The Rock? Now, I did think, where's Ric Flair? Because growing up, I was a big Four Horsemen guy.
He's crapping himself in Tampa.
That's right. He is exactly in restaurants. He's just sitting there in strip clubs, right?
I saw that that Reddit thread before it became national news too. I was early on that.
Yeah. That you saw that like firsthand?
I saw it was like 100 upvotes
He
on
saw
the
the
Tampa.
post.
I saw
I got you.
It was in
Okay.
the Tampa Reddit.
No,
page.
PD was not with Ric Flair in Tampa.
You didn't come to the peddler. And,
I wish. I would love to have Ric Flair come by, actually, but
no, he's an embarrassing specimen of a human being. I don't have any tolerance for him. But I liked Diamond Dallas Page. I know he's not a good wrestler. I loved Sting. I was a huge Sting fan. But there's a big Ultimate Warrior fan. But these guys, whatever. That was just my era. But these two guys are transcendent. So I understand, though, that that's maybe not the list you're making. I didn't mess with your top three because I feel like I respected Shawn Michaels and Undertaker so much that if you think Daniel Bryan should be at 3, I'm going to leave him at 3 because I don't know any better. I didn't mess with your top 3. I moved Terry Funk from 4 down to 10. I moved Jeff Hardy up and then replaced him with Hulk Hogan.
he's the better Terry. Terry Funk is the better Terry.
He probably was the better in-ring Terry, for sure.
Better human.
Oh, for sure. So, but for me, the reason I did that, PD, and the reason that was important is because if I look at a Mount Rushmore and I look at your top 4 as a Mount Rushmore and I see Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and Hulk Hogan, I go, this is a veritable list. This is ostensibly a list with opinion, but you couldn't look at that and argue because those 3 people are all people that people know and have really transcended the game, so to speak. I switched Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, personal preference because of my opinion of Eddie Guerrero before he did what you did. Having known that, I probably wouldn't have made that move. I didn't know that. It is what it is. Stone Cold stays at 6. I think it's a perfect spot. Jericho stays at 8. The big issue that you're going to have is I took Kurt Angle out and I put The Rock in. Straight up at 7. So my list as it stands, 10 Terry Funk, 9 Eddie Guerrero, 8 Chris Jericho, 7 The Rock, 6 Stone Cold, 5 Rey Mysterio, 4 Hulk Hogan, 3 Daniel Bryan, 2 Undertaker, 1 Shawn Michaels.
Lots to think about here, PD.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider.
And I think we both went. Dan made wonderful arguments for his list,
Now-
and I see it and I hear it.
While I ponder it, can I read, or I don't even have to read it. I know it from memory. My favorite Hulk Hogan tweet.
Sure, go ahead.
I'd love to hear it.
How? Hello, jabroni marks without a life who don't. Or no, excuse me. It's hello, hello, Hulkamaniacs and jabroni marks without a life who don't know it a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot, brother.
Wow.
Strong.
I think that was
Strong.
tweeted in like 2011.
You got to say
Strong.
that. That's a good
Yeah.
get you ready for the mic. You say that over and over. Don't
Yeah,
know
it
it's a shoot. Don't know it's a shoot.
Shoot,
Okay,
shoot,
the problem
shoot.
is you were like, you don't know it's a shoot and you're trying to work, so you work yourself into a shoot and
Yeah.
you don't know what's happening.
And you don't know it's a work.
Yeah.
There you go.
So can I see both of those lists? again?
Yes. Here's Dan. Dan,
okay, there's
including
Dan's.
Hulk Hogan, including The Rock.
Keeping Daniel Bryan at 3 and
Yes.
not taking out Chris Jericho and moving and not taking out Eddie Guerrero. That's my
Sure.
one defense is you hated he took out Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
But-
and I get it. I get that.
and I kept
Triple
Daniel
H-
Bryan at 3. Those are the only two
I
things I
like
did.
my list. I don't love, to be clear, I don't love Triple H at 5. It's just kind of how it all
Yeah.
shook itself out.
And I do think I like Brett better at 4 than I like Hulk, but taking Eddie out and putting Triple H there, it's just an automatic win for Dan.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Let's
go.
I'm sorry to my podcast co-host,
Okay.
Dan, who I mean, Brand. So the
No.
names rhyme. It's
That's
confusing.
right. My kids think that we're best friends, and that's really all that matters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see he works at a restaurant, and we were there eating, and I said, "This is my friend PD," and they're like, "Oh, you guys are best friends." I was like, "Yeah, man, absolutely, for sure." So there you go. That just shows
Well,
you
you
how close
are
we
now.
And-
I felt pretty good.
I
about
got
what
an
had
invite to Dan's pool.
You did
as well.
You did.
Wow.
So
From my
yeah, so
children.
Dan
That's
is
a big
the
invite.
winner today.
Handing those out. Handing those out.
That's right.
All right. Well,
Hey,
why? Is it just
It's
Eddie
Eddie
because
Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero?
It's really about Eddie.
Triple H. for
That's
Eddie
how
Guerrero.
important Eddie is to me.
Okay.
Eddie. He would have been one if he stayed alive.
See, there's now something referred to as the Eddie spot, which is where somebody will just shake their shoulders, and wherever it's done, like, and this happens to this day, the whole crowd will chant Eddie.
Oh wow, man!
We love Eddie.
Burn bright but not
we
long.
did.
Yep.
We did it, everybody. Congratulations to us. Come hang out with PD and myself and this Chase character you keep hearing about, and Jonathan and
Yeah.
Kristen over on Making the Merge. We're covering Cook Island right now until the new season starts in a few months. What is it,
Great.
September?
Yeah, you want to shout
that
out
right?
like that socials to follow? Like
Yes, at Survivor Podcast.
Man, we don't need any help.
podcast. Yeah,
See,
no,
we
you're
don't
good.
need
We
it.
do great. Dan doesn't know because he doesn't pay attention, but we do great numbers.
Listen, I'm the CEO of the company. I follow the numbers. I don't listen
Oh,
to the
okay, that's
show.
good.
I follow the numbers. Your numbers are fantastic.
So just like you do with wrestling, you don't watch the
That's
actual
right.
content.
Yeah, it's about the product. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
100%. Come on back next time for some more diss to lists.
You got it, man.
Until then, keep dissing
You
stuff.
do it.
Woo!
It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan.